Imagine being surrounded by hundreds of people, yet feeling completely invisible. You laugh when everyone else laughs. You smile when everyone else smiles. You join the conversation, but deep inside, you feel like you're speaking a language no one else understands. It's not because you're shy. It's not because you dislike people. It's because your mind keeps asking questions that no one around you seems interested in answering. Why are we here? Why do people behave the way they do? What really makes someone happy? What if I told you that the very way you think could be changing the way you connect with others? And what if the thing that helps you understand the world is also the thing that makes you feel alone in it? Stay with me, because by the end of this journey, you might discover that loneliness isn't always what it seems. Many people believe that intelligent people are destined to be lonely, but that's not true. There are brilliant scientists with loving families. There are successful entrepreneurs with incredible friendships. And there are ordinary people who experience loneliness every single day. So intelligence itself isn't the problem. The real question is different. Why do some people who think deeply struggle to connect with those around them? The answer isn't found in IQ scores. It's found in perspective. The human brain is designed to recognize patterns. But some minds take this much further. A casual conversation becomes an analysis. A joke becomes a lesson about psychology. A simple event turns into a chain of endless possibilities. While others move on, these thoughts continue. Every detail matters. Every silence carries meaning. Every decision is questioned. The mind rarely rests. And over time, this constant awareness can make ordinary interactions feel exhausting. Human beings are natural pattern seekers. Our brains are constantly scanning the environment, identifying relationships, predicting outcomes, and interpreting social cues. In many situations, this ability is incredibly useful. It helps us learn, adapt, and navigate complex social environments. However, for highly analytical individuals, this process can sometimes become excessive. Research in psychology suggests that overthinking, particularly repetitive analysis of social interactions, can increase self-consciousness and mental fatigue. Instead of simply experiencing a conversation, a person may begin evaluating every detail, facial expressions, tone of voice, pauses, word choice, and even what each interaction might reveal about another person's intentions. This constant internal analysis can create a subtle psychological distance. While others are immersed in the natural flow of conversation, the analytical mind may be operating as both participant and observer simultaneously. Rather than responding spontaneously, it is continuously processing, interpreting, and predicting. Over time, this heightened pattern recognition can make social interactions feel less intuitive and more cognitively demanding. Some researchers believe this may contribute to feelings of social disconnection, not because meaningful relationships are impossible, but because excessive analysis can interrupt the sense of presence that often forms the foundation of human connection. In other words, sometimes the mind becomes so focused on understanding the experience that it forgets to simply live it. But the most surprising reason intelligent people feel alone has nothing to do with intelligence itself, and almost nobody talks about it. Have you ever replayed a conversation hours after it ended? Wondering if you said the wrong thing? Questioning every word? Analyzing every expression? For many people, this happens occasionally. For others, it's almost constant. The brain searches for hidden meaning where none may exist. It tries to solve conversations like puzzles. And eventually, social interactions become less about connection and more about analysis. The result is emotional distance that no one else can see. We are living in the most connected era in human history. At any moment, we can send a message across continents, share our thoughts with thousands of people, or instantly reconnect with someone we haven't seen in years. Never before have human beings possessed such unprecedented access to one another. And yet, paradoxically, loneliness continues to rise. Across the world, researchers are reporting increasing levels of social isolation, particularly among younger generations. The question is, how can a society so deeply connected feel so profoundly alone? Part of the answer may lie in the nature of our digital interactions. Social media offers connection, but often in fragmented forms, likes instead of conversations, reactions instead of understanding, constant updates instead of genuine presence. We witness carefully curated snapshots of other people's lives while revealing increasingly less of our own authentic selves. At the same time, short-form content competes relentlessly for our attention. Every swipe delivers a new story, a new face, a new emotional stimulus. Over time, this endless stream of information can condition us to seek novelty rather than depth. Human relationships, however, were never designed to function at the speed of an algorithm. Meaningful connection requires patience, vulnerability, silence, and sustained attention, qualities that are increasingly scarce in a world optimized for distraction. Perhaps this is the paradox of modern life. We have mastered the technology of communication, yet many of us are still searching for the experience of truly being seen. But here's something most people misunderstand. Being alone is not the same as being lonely. Loneliness is painful. It's wanting connection and not finding it. Solitude is different. It's choosing silence because silence brings clarity. Many artists, writers, scientists, and thinkers have done their best work in moments of complete isolation. Not because they hated people, but because quiet gave their ideas room to grow. Throughout history, periods of solitude have often accompanied moments of profound creativity and intellectual discovery. Many philosophers, scientists, writers, and artists deliberately sought time away from the noise of everyday life. Solitude offered something increasingly rare: uninterrupted space to think, reflect, question, and create. For thinkers such as Isaac Newton, Virginia Woolf, and Nikola Tesla, time spent alone was not necessarily an escape from society, but a condition that allowed ideas to mature. Modern psychological research suggests that solitude and loneliness are not the same experience. Loneliness is the distress that comes from lacking meaningful connection. Solitude, by contrast, can be a voluntary state, one that may encourage self-reflection, creativity, and deeper concentration. Yet solitude is not inherently beneficial, nor is it universally desired. Human beings remain profoundly social creatures, and meaningful relationships play a crucial role in well-being. Perhaps the relationship between solitude and creativity is best understood as a balance. Ideas often emerge in moments of quiet contemplation, but those ideas gain meaning when they are shared, challenged, and refined through connection with others. History suggests that creativity does not flourish solely in isolation or in constant social engagement, but somewhere in the dynamic space between the two. Maybe intelligence isn't what creates loneliness. Maybe expectations do. Expecting every conversation to be meaningful. Expecting every friendship to offer deep understanding. Expecting every room to feel like home. When reality doesn't meet those expectations, disappointment follows. The answer isn't becoming someone else. The answer is finding people who value curiosity as much as you do. Sometimes all it takes is one genuine connection to change everything. So, why do smart people often feel alone? Perhaps the question itself is incomplete, because feeling different has never been exclusive to intelligence. Across every generation, there have been people who think deeply, question constantly, and experience the world in ways that don't always align with those around them. And when your inner world feels larger or more complex than what everyday conversations seem to allow, disconnection can sometimes follow. But feeling different does not mean you're broken, and it certainly does not mean you are somehow above everyone else. It simply means that human beings vary in temperament, in curiosity, in emotional depth, and in the way they make sense of the world. The truth is, meaningful connection has rarely been about finding people who think exactly like us. It's about finding those who are willing to explore with us. People who value curiosity over certainty, depth over performance, authenticity over appearances. Such people may not appear often, but they exist. And when you find them, something remarkable happens. Conversations stop feeling like performances. Silence becomes comfortable. Questions no longer need to be hidden. For perhaps the first time, you feel understood, not completely, because no one can ever fully know another person, but enough. Enough to remind you that you are never truly alone. In the end, the goal is not to think less, or to become someone else in order to belong. It is to continue being curious, to remain open to connection, and to trust that somewhere there are people searching for the same depth you are. Because sometimes, the reason you haven't found your people yet is simply that they're still searching for you, too.